kind of fast forward to after you graduated, you joined the military.
Mm-hmm.
What branch?
Army.
What made you do that?
What made me do that was I wanted something different again. So I was still in Detroit. I'm like, what am I gonna do differently? I didn't have no plan to do anything differently, but I knew I wanted something different because we was doing the same thing. It's like I said, I spent most of my time gambling or hustling, and we was seeing it wasn't getting us nowhere. And as we was getting older, that's when we started seeing the more violent stuff coming into it. Now people robbing the dice games. Now people getting killed. Now all of these other things is happening and transitioning, and we're being involved in more than just you just hustling or you just trying to get some money. Now it's getting more dangerous. Now things is happening. Now people on some other stuff. So it was like one of the girls I was dating during the time, her cousin was in the military. He came home and he was like, yo, what y'all think about going to the military? This is during the war. We like, what? You sound crazy. At first we like, this don't, why would we try to do that? Because of how the public and everybody was displaying it.
What war is it? Iraq?
Yeah, 9/11, post 9/11.
Okay.
So when that all is going on, nobody was for the war. So none of my family was for it. Like nobody was for it. Only person that was for it was my right hand brother. He was the only one like, yeah, let's do it. You know what I mean? So we like, all right, we about to put the plan together. We about to go in the military. So we doing everything we need. He like, hey, y'all need to do this, this, and this. I had tattoos on my neck at the time. I didn't want to get the tattoo removed from my neck. Like I took it serious. Like, okay, I'm really about to change what's going on, because what's going on now, we didn't see no longevity in it, because like I said, everything started getting messy. You start having some people you grew up with setting up your situations. It's just everything just turned like demonized, you know what I mean, right in front of our eyes. So it was like, figure something else out before you be somewhere stretched out just because you just trying to look good or chase the bag or whatever, you know what I mean? So it was like, it was time to change up what we had going on. So that's what the move was.
All right, so kind of describe like your experience being in the military. Were you ever deployed?
Nah, I didn't ever deploy.
Okay. Well, so let's kind of discuss like just like everything else that you would have to go through like in that lifestyle. Like of course like we you never like really got to game time because you weren't deployed, but I'm sure it was still a challenging experience.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a lot of challenges. Like even from day one, I had to convert myself into being a certain type of person just to abide by the rules and regulations that the military gonna uphold you on. So even from me getting a tattoo removed from my neck, like you gotta think about the pain I had to go through to get it, then the pain I had to go through after 3 sessions to get it removed. That was a whole situation in itself, that it was like I never thought I would remove the tattoo that I put on my neck. Like that wouldn't never make sense to me. Nobody could have convinced me when I was doing it that I would ever be doing it to reverse it. So it was like, that was a whole challenge. Then once I got in, it was like you had to keep up with physical training. You had to keep up with people yelling at you and people disrespecting you and people being on you on a whole nother level of discipline just because they trying to get you to fit into their world and their society, because it's completely different from what we deal with in the streets. It's completely different from what you deal with in the corporate world. It's his own situation. So I had to learn how to deal with those type of people. And then you got people from every part of the world. This ain't just people from your block or people from your neighborhood. You got people from all types of areas. So they come with their own luggage and their own situation that they grew up in and what they think is right and how they think things should go. And you got to learn how to work with them and deal with them at the same time. So it was a lot of times that stuff would get heated or stuff would get out of control, and you would have to learn how to calm yourself down. You had to learn discipline. You had to learn how to be structured. It was so much that you had to really embrace that it's like, that's why I knew that if I could do that, then you could really do anything in the world, because they will transition you from whatever you is. You got people who was weak body, you got people who was smart as heck, you got people who was in the streets, you got people who don't know Adam from Eve, and they all form into one unit, and they all move on the same accord, the same beat pattern, the same wave. If you can do that, and you can network with anybody from anywhere, it ain't really nothing in the world you can't do if you use them same principles out in any part of the streets, in the corporate world, in the business world, in anything you do. If you use those same things, I don't really know how you can lose. Like, they show you how to make nothing out of something. They show you how to live off of an MRE, off of food that ain't even food. You know what I mean? They show you how to live in the woods. I went airborne. I went to Ranger. I'm jumping out of planes. They showed you so much stuff that it's like, what is it that you can't do if I can come from the background that I came from this misguided situation to being in something that's one of the most structured situations in America. Like, I don't think there's nothing else that's more structured than being in the military when you talk about in America. So it's like, to go from that to that transition and to move about it and make ways to make it make sense to me, I don't think it was really nothing that I couldn't do. So that's what led me to be what I've started becoming in my most recent days.
Right.